What's going on, everyone? Today we are playing one of my favorite, well, I should stop saying that because most of these games are my favorites, but we're playing the Battle of Olympus today, which is based on Greek mythology. This is from Broderbund Software. I'm not sure if they're still around, not sure if they ever made anything else, but this is one hell of a game to start or go out on. And great music. I'm just going to soak this up for a second before we get going. Alright, so let's give our dude a name. Let's call him Dude. Feeling quite original today. And then you get to name the your girlfriend, the chick you're trying to save. Let's call her... let's try Dudette. Alright. Interesting spelling, but that's as far as we can get, I guess. So this is our map. We have 8 places to go to. All based on places, you know, you can kind of recognize, like Crete, Attica, places like that from, well, from Greece. So all ancient Grecian places here. So we start off as this little dude. He kind of reminds you, right from the start, as Link. If you thought that, you're not alone. There's a lot of similarities here. You're trying to rescue a princess-like figure. And, you know, you have your sword and your shield. And even the physics kind of work like, especially if you ever played Link Zelda 2. I forget what it's called. I think it's just called like Link's Adventure or something like that. So, a lot of similarities in gameplay there. So we can talk to people. Most of them don't have anything useful to say. Every now and then they do. There are trees that little blobs of slime are falling down on. I'm trying to find my way around. Just get my bearings. It's been a while since I played this. So first thing we want to do, it wouldn't be a Greek-based game if there wasn't a heavy presence from the gods. So first things first, we're looking for the... no, we're not looking for Attica. Getting ahead of myself. So yeah, just so that house on the other side of that door leads into a cliff apparently, which takes us to Attica. So here we go. So if we're going to have a game based on gods, we might as well start with the greatest of all the gods. Oof. And this bull just beat the crap out of me a little bit. Who's the leader of the gods? That's right. Zeus. Dude, I've heard your story from Aphrodite. That's going to be fun. Sort of. Hephaestos. A lot of stuff I can't pronounce this game. So most of the gods will give you, will hook you up with some cool shit. In this case, Zeus is just making it so the other gods will basically acknowledge me and talk to me and give me stuff. So if you don't talk to Zeus first, unfortunately all of the other gods are going to be complete dicks to you and ignore you, and they won't give you anything. So make sure you stop in that little modest house to meet the greatest of all the gods right from the get-go. And that's not where I want to be either. That's the 3rd place we're going. Or the 4th, really. Alright. So we've talked to Zeus. We've got our little club. That's about all we got. We have a shield, you can see, but it's not really in our inventory. I'm not really sure if we can block anything with it. So this is Attica. I think we can explore this a little bit now. We got these little, I don't even know, like gremlin-looking guys chucking spears at me. They're awfully cute. Once they chuck their spear, they run off. Now we got some kind of kangaroo, half man monsters. Ooh, there were 2 of them there. And you'll see they're dropping the little red balls. These are olives. That is the currency of ancient Greece, obviously. So we can exchange olives for some cool shit that some of the later gods will give us. I said, a lot of the early gods, they're pretty cool and they will just give you stuff when you find them. But some of the later gods, I guess just to make the game more challenging and annoying, charge you olives before they'll give you whatever sweet stuff you need to beat the game. So, it's important to collect a great deal of olives. When you die, you lose half your olives, so try not to die. And yeah, just 2 more, that's good. And the little mint-like things give you health when they drop those. You can actually bow at this fountain and get a drink and get all of your life replenished. This little weird mollusk, scorpion-looking dudes. See, there we go. So we just got our health back. There we go. 9 olives. That's not bad. So the pink carpeting here reflects that this is Athena's place. Welcome, dude. I'm Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war. I always think that's interesting how she doubles as both the goddess of wisdom and war. But anyways, yeah, let's so we got a shield now. We have an actual shield that can protect us. We still have our existing, well, we have, the animation didn't change, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We have the same superficial shield. And just kill some dudes, get some supplies. Now there is a, let's see if I can find her. See, that little spear would have normally gone through my fake me out shield, but now that I have the Athena shield, I can block little spears that those guys chuck at me, assuming I'm ducking, of course. Alright, so we're got a nice little stash of olives going now. Feeling pretty good about that. So over here, there is a, like a kind of a siren Medusa kind of woman. Not really sure what you want to call this chick, but oh shit, she is tearing me up. Well, I'm not gonna live. Ah, so close. Alright, so try not to retry because unless you know when the last time you saved, which basically means you just saw a god. So I think when you hit retry, it'll take you to the last god you talked to. There's not really saving in the game, but there is passwords, which they'll give you, the word of the gods, and it's actually like 30 random characters, so it's a really big bitch to write all that down. So thank God for state saves and things like that in emulators today, so let's see if we can take her down this time. Half woman, half serpent. Alright, there we go. And it's a little boy who is being kidnapped, held against his will. So we save him, talk to him. Now let's go find his mom for our real payment, if you know what I mean, game player. No, get your mind out of the gutter. Fire breathing jacket. Fuck that. I think she's upstairs. And she's gonna hook me up with something. Something. There we go. So there's 4 weapons in the game. We can equip this now. This is our little inventory. We have 4 weapons in the game. We have our initial crappy club. Now we have the staff of fennel, which can throw fire out towards enemies, which is pretty nice. And we actually need that fire to get past the forest eventually, so we want to find the guy who knows about fire. And who might know about fire from Greek mythology? I'll let you think about that one for a second. As we exit Attica, and we try to find, I think we're doing Argolis right now, so I think it's this way. Generally like all the music from this game. It's all pretty good, you know, it's very repetitive as most 8-bit games were, musically, but it helps that it's enjoyable. So I think this is the way to Argolis. Kind of the cave. A lot of caves in Argolis. Cave land. So just these are gray gremlins, but I think they're pretty much the same as the purple ones. They also kind of remind me of I don't know, either Furbies or why am I blanking on the name of the little guys in Star Wars? That's pretty embarrassing. Wookiees. No wait, no, that was Chewbacca. Jesus. From Return of the Jedi. As everyone is shouting at me at their computer screens. Prometheus, that's the guy. Not from Star Wars, mind you, but that's the guy who we will talk to about fire. Side note, does anyone remember a show called Kablam on Nickelodeon in the mid to late 90s? It was like a variety cartoon show, and they had this sweet claymation show that was a regular part of it called Prometheus and Bob. It was pretty, well, music changed here, that means we have a boss to fight. Luckily we have turbo, otherwise I'm not sure I can take this guy. This line won't jump until you get a little bit, oh shit. Until you get a little bit closer. Oof, that was close. Make sure you got turbo on, just cut him down the size, and here's Prometheus. To use fire, you push the up button and attack. Way to break the fourth wall, Prometheus. Kinda like to at least try to maintain the idea that we're not playing a video game, but we're actually in ancient Greece right now, but he just ruined that. So watch out for that. Actually, I might as well just die. I'm pretty weak at this point, doesn't matter. If I had a ton of olives, I might have second guessed that, but it's not a big deal. So you see that little totem right there? We can actually travel, kind of teleport, using our harp and our trusty horse Pegasus, our winged horse, once we have the harp later on. But we have a little ways to go before we get that. I believe there's one more god hanging out. Well, Prometheus isn't a god, but there's a dude that we can talk to here in lieu of a god. If you fall down this pit, actually, the one I just jumped over, that there are special snakes in there. There's just some dude hanging out. He's watching, sorry, an asshole dude. Watching over Hermes' palace. Hermes is very difficult to access palace. So this is what I was talking about. So you got these salamanders down here. They have special salamander skin, which we can use to craft. See, we just dropped one. It looks like a lobster dinner, but that's actually a lobster. It's actually a salamander skin, and we can trade in our salamander skins to get a special salamander shield, which repels fire, which is important later on if you want to get it. I don't think it's necessary, but... So anyways, that knocked us back to the beginning, and let's go back to Zeus's place. Maybe Hermes is hanging out, having a drink, and we can hit him up for something else too. I think this is the last free gift we're gonna get, so start thinking about hoarding your olives and not dying, just as importantly. Alright, where was Zeus's condo? I think it's up here. Up here on the left. There's a lot of slime in ancient Greece, apparently. The ceiling doesn't look that high from the outside, but whatever. There's this bowl again. Now it goes down in 2 hits, thanks to my sweet staff of fennel. Does twice the damage. Ah, there you go. Hermes. So make sure you bow when you try to talk to him, so he's cool about it. There we go, so we got some sweet sandals, and already we can notice the difference. You don't have to equip them. They're already on. So not only can we jump really... Oh, that sucks. Not only can we jump a lot higher now, and avoid some baddies, we can jump on the ceiling in most places. Awesome. This is pretty cool. Nice little addition to the game. So now that we have the staff, and now that we have the special jumping sandals, we can enter Peloponnesus. I can't pronounce it. We can enter the forest. So you need the staff to burn up those cobwebs. And this is a bit of a maze. There's a few mazes in the game. This is the first one. This one's not too challenging though. There's 3 different areas of the forest, basically. There's like the lush green, there's the neon kind of green, and then there's kind of the brownish red. So you can kind of use that to catch your bearings. Crows told you, okay. So you could ignore this seemingly crazy old man's advice. That was advice, by the way, but he's trying to tell you that there is an ambrosia hidden in the trees in one of these areas. And ambrosia is going to increase your life, so you definitely want to pick one of those up if you can find them. I think there's like 4 in the game. You know, that you can only find them in these secret locations, so definitely make sure you pick up all those. Make the game a lot easier. A lot of random dudes in this forest that I don't need to talk to. So this is the kind of the red tinted forest. You can look at the trees. Oh, here we go. So this is the last god who's going to hook us up. Who is this? So I guess I should just know who the god of music is off the top of my head. Maybe the programmers didn't know at the time. They said, fuck it. No one's gonna care. So that's the harp. Beautiful music that got cut off. But we can use the harp as the random god explained to summon Pegasus, but only in certain areas where they have the totem poles. So let's see if we can find... There's a lot of stuff to do in this forest. There's a cyclops to kill, and a river dragon to kill as well. And I forget which you need to kill first. I think it's just as well. So I'm back at the beginning, I want to say, yeah. I think I want to kill the river dragon first, and then I'll get a sweet sword, which I can use to stab the cyclops in his eye. That's generally pretty effective. That's a good rule for most video games. Stab the enemy in the eye with a sharp object, and they will relinquish. Let's get turned around here. Alright, here we go. So, alright, or is this for the cyclops? I forget. No, we'll figure it out. So you can't jump over that, you gotta burn it up, so you definitely need to have the fire, because I'm not sure you can get through it without it. You might just be able to like power through it, but you lose a lot of health. Which you will need before you, before you get here. Watch out for the bubbles coming out here. Alright, so just go to the edge here, basically, and this is where the little water dragon's coming out. So just kind of stand maybe an inch or two, depending on your screen size, ahead of this little dragon that pops out. Just keep stabbing, or you can hang out right here in the front. This seems to be working pretty well. Oh, until he does a little short jump. Die. Pop out, you bitch. Sometimes you gotta move before you can trigger them. Or you gotta turn around and they'll be an asshole. Alright, so he's nearly dead. Get back to our magic spot. A couple more slaps with my stick. Alright, so we freed this little fairy. Spirit of the forest, driven out Hydra. Now I got a sweet sword. Let's pop that on right now. There we go. Now, seems like we're moving pretty quickly because we already have the basically the third best weapon, the second best weapon in the game. But it's gonna be a little while before we get the next one. So now we can find that cyclops and stab him in the eye, like I was talking about earlier. But while I try to find him, so this is actually based on the story of Orpheus, who I don't think he wasn't a god, he was just a guy, but he was really talented when it came to music. He could play any instrument beautifully, and everything was enchanted around him when he did it. And basically his girl, Eurydice, I want to say, was captured and taken into the underworld or something like that. So Orpheus goes on this epic journey into Hades to rescue her. And he does. And he talks to Hades when he gets to the end. And Hades says, yeah, you can take her on the condition that as you're leaving, you don't look back. So he says, alright, that's fine. So he makes it all the way with Eurydice to the threshold of Hades to get back to the overworld. And here we go, found it. And let me see if I can find that ambrosia while I'm around here. Now you gotta just smack one of these trees in the right spot. But, so that's the music changing. Yep, there is our Cyclops, and he just destroyed me. Alright, so I can finish my story as I get back there. Or the Greek story, rather, it's not my story. So he makes it all the way back with Eurydice to the threshold. So he crosses over the threshold back to the overworld, but she hasn't crossed over yet. So he makes the mistake of looking back before she has crossed over the threshold into the overworld. And because of that, you know, just to check up on her to make sure she was still there. And because of that, as his punishment, as her punishment, Eurydice was forced to remain in the underworld, in Hades, for 2 seasons out of the year, half the year basically. So just that's kind of the legend, that was the Greek legend, that the reason that, you know, fall and winter were so cold was because Eurydice was actually the daughter of the god of nature and spring. So when she was taken away, where is that damn ambrosia? So when she was taken away, it just destroyed her mother. So she made half the year cold and dark, and the days were shorter and everything. So I just think that's kind of an interesting story to keep in mind as you're playing this game, I suppose. And this Cyclops is just destroying me. Get in like a sweet rhythm, maybe. Yeah. Just drop down here. And while we're on the subject of the Greek myth of Orpheus and Eurydice, shit! Alright, I swear that's the last time. There is a sweet, it's a very fun, just, I guess, online Flash-based game or something like that, called Don't Look Back. It's kind of based on that, and just kind of a fun little action-adventure puzzle game. It only take you like maybe 20 minutes to beat, but it's pretty creepy, but it's a lot of fun. Good way to kill 20 minutes like I said, so if you get a chance, check that out. Don't Look Back, it's called. Kind of ties in nicely with this game. Well, they're based on the same thing. I don't know if it ties in nicely, but whatever. Alright. Not going down again. Get on your side. I'm not even sure you can hurt him unless you have the sword, so definitely do that first. He's gonna go down a lot quicker when you have it. And plus he's guarding the exit, so you definitely want to kill him first. Or you can't progress the game. There we go. Now that he's out of the picture, we can leisurely find this ambrosia. Forget, where is it? Which tree is it? It's one of these trees. These bats are making life quite uncomfortable. Yeah. Maybe I had to clear him from the... I don't know. It's around here somewhere. There we go. Yeah, see that? My life bar is basically doubled. I got, I want to say, 8 more spaces for life. And there's one right here in the next area in Laconia? Should probably just stop trying to pronounce these names, butchering them. My Greek viewers are getting offended, I'm sure. Alright, so I'm getting my ass kicked by everything here. Oh, that's one of those totems. I can call Pegasus here if I want. And I happen to know... Oh, nice. I thought there was an ambrosia there, but it turned out to just be a jar. So the jar is pretty nice. because we can fill that with water, and then we can use that to regain our life whenever we want. So it's kind of like having a potion or something to bring everything back to Zelda. Welcome, dude. I'm Poseidon. So this is the first of the dick gods. 60 frickin' olives. Do you have 60 olives? Yes. You liar! Be gone. So he's got quite an appetite, so it's time to grind now and grab those olives. But before I do, I'm gonna pop down here because I think I know where the second ambrosia is. And I want to say there's a cyclops guarding it, who needs a sword in his eye quite badly. I think it's this bottom one. It's dark, so you can actually pull out your staff. Cast a little fire and light the room so you don't plummet to your death. That fire lingers actually, so. Yep, another one of these damn cyclops. I don't know that I'm going to take it. Yep. Where's it going to put me? That's annoying. So sometimes it's preferable to take a hit from certain enemies versus others, so you can make use of that temporary invincibility you get after you get hit, just like in real life. So you definitely don't want to be pelted by one of those rocks that the hawks are dropping on top of your head, because that does, I want to say, like 4 damage, and so does a hawk actually hitting you. So, whoa, sweet moves, kangaroo dude. What's this guy talking about? Yeah, Crete's kind of bananas. You don't want to go there yet, even if you have the dolphin. Alright, let's get out that staff. So you can see on my menu it said I have 3 salamanders skins. So you don't lose those, fortunately, when you die, which is nice. So you can have those. I think the person who makes the salamander skin is in Crete, so it's kind of a bitch to find her in the maze on Crete and still have your olives. Oh shit! Still have your olives intact. Let's see if I can do this without dying. There we go. There we go. Very nice. Alright. I think there's 2 more ambrosia, actually. So this is cool. We just kneel at that, and look at that. Our little jar is filled. Alright. Well, now I'm afraid there's nothing left to do but grind for a little bit, so I think what I'm going to do is probably just pause the video, because this is going to probably take a while. He said 60 olives. That's the only thing I hate about this game, and any game where you have to just grind like that, whether it's level grinding or materials or anything like that. It's really annoying. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna pause the video right here and then pick it up on the other side once I have the olives and all that jazz. Alright? So, see you guys in a minute. Have a sandwich or something. I'll see you on the other side. Alright, so here we are back with 59 olives, and let's pick up our last olive right there. Okay. So now we have 60 olives, which is how many Poseidon was demanding for his stupid little ocarina that we could probably make ourselves, but whatever. So yeah. So when these little monkeys start pumping their little monkey arms and getting excited, you know they're about to jump. So tap right there, fall down here. Kind of accidentally found this one time, but this is where Poseidon is. Hop up here, actually. There we go. Alright, I got your damn olives. Sounds good. Nice. Don't forget to pick it up. That would be terrible. Alright. so now we have our ocarina, which I kind of prefer the tone over the harp. Very relaxing. You'll get to hear it in a moment. Alright, so we don't need to go anywhere on the ocarina yet, on the dolphin. Just call in our Pegasus. He's going to take us to Arcadia. And actually the way to get to, let's see if I can remember how I want to get. A lot of these places are connected, but I tend to forget how to get from one place to the next. Sometimes you can hop the dolphin, and there's like shortcuts to get to different cities and things like that. I'll let you check out the ocarina and its smooth, dulcet tones. Isn't that just fantastic? I love that. It's so soothing. What was in here? Attica. Yeah, I want to say it's over here. So actually, before we can get to the next place, we need the ocarina. As you will see. So if you just passed that cave earlier, which took you to Athena, you got a dead end over here before, but now that we have the ocarina, I can play it. I'll let him get out of here first. Okay. This guy frickin' either loves this song or hates the song, because it brings him to life, and now he's chucking boulders at us. I'm not really sure there's a good way to fight this guy, except what I'm doing, and to have, make sure you have some... Oof. Barely gonna make it. And to have some extra water on hand. Alright, so here we are in Pythia? I always used to call it Pythia, but I'm sure that's wrong. Alright, so what I think I'm gonna do now is break off and make this my first two-part video. So this is very exciting. This is a landmark moment for Let's Play with Brigands. So I'm going to upload that in a couple days, and yeah, I will see you in part 2 of Let's Play the Battle of Olympus.